combing process, iliac crest, ASIS, PSIS, spinal alignment, scapular position.
So I'm going to hop up on the table. We're going to do medial longitudinal arch first. We're going to look at his Achilles. If it bows, his kind of bows outward. So he has pes cavus. If it bows outward, that's what pes cavus is what the implication is. And if it bows inward, it's pes plantus. Next, we have rear foot angle. So however you lay on your stomach. We already drew the lines, but you're going to have one in the middle of the calcaneus and the insertion point of the Achilles to the calcaneus. And you're going to draw a line in between them. And then you go from the start of the Achilles tendon to the proximal 1/3 of the calf. And draw a line. And you're going to use your fancy goniometer. And the stationary arm is going to be going up the leg. Fulcrum at the start of the Achilles, and you're going to line up the lines. It is a positive if the lines do not align within 2 to 8 degrees. Implications: rear foot valgus equals pronation and varus equals supination. Next we have tibial torsion, so on your belly. I'm going to find the neutral spot of the talus, right about there, and he's going to dorsiflex. I'm also going to find the patella going straight upward. I'm going to line this up with the 5th metatarsal, and I'm going to measure in between 2 malleoli. For this, the measurement should be 15 to 18 degrees in that range, and he's at 16. Next, we have the Q angle. I'm going to find the patella, and I'm going to find the ASIS, and then I'm going to have my stationary arm matched up with that. Fulcrum on the patella, and the movement arm on the tibial, along the tibial shaft, not the tubercle. Okay. For women, the degrees are supposed to be 18, and for the men, it is 13. If it is over, this could lead to lateral tracking of the patella. Next, we have Craig's test. So I'm going to flip over on your stomach. I'm going to passively move his leg, and I'm going to find the greater trochanter and find the neutral spot for it. It's right up there. I'm going to hold it. Next leg, hold it down on the table. It's right up there. Next, I'm going to have a stationary arm down the leg, and I'm going to find the medial part of the shaft, right about there. Positive if it is a femoral retroversion, which is less than 15, and femoral anteversion is greater than 15 degrees. The pelvic angle, I'm going to have you stand up. For this one, I'm going to find the PSIS. Like so, and then I'm going to line up with the ASIS. Like so. Posterior tilt would be less than 8 degrees, neutral would be 8 to 10, and anterior would be greater than 10. So he is at about 8, so he has a neutral. Next we have muscle length test. So I'm going to have you lay on your stomach. So for this one, I'm going to find a neutral spot again. There, and then I'm going to ask for the dorsal flex. You'd also use a goniometer for this one as well, but Positive test would be if it is less than 10, it affects walking, and if it is less than 15, it affects running. And this tightness could cause overuse injuries. Next, we have the soleus, so we're going to have it at like 60 degrees. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to find neutral position, and then I'm going to ask them to dorsal flex. Again, this is positive if it is less than 15, it affects the running, or less than 10, it affects. Less than 10 is going to affect walking, and less than 15 is going to affect running. And this is tightness, which can lead to overuse injuries. So next we have the hamstring. So I'm going to flip over on your back. We're going to go 90-90, and then I'm going to passively flex his knee. Positive if it is more than 20 degrees knee flexion. And this is tightness may cause, it may affect the hip, knee, spine, or thigh. Next we have rectus femoris. I'm going to go on your stomach. I'm going to stabilize the PSIS, and I'm going to bring his leg up. Positive if it is more than 10 degrees knee flexion when compared bilaterally. And this leads to tightness in the knee, hip, thigh, or spine. So next we have posture assessment. So I'm going to stand for scapular position. So for this one, for T3, I'm going to find, or we'll start at T7, and we're going to go to the inferior border of the scapula. This should be 5 to 7 centimeters. Again, we're going to go up 4. Do the same thing on the medial border of the scapula. If it is more than this many centimeters, it is protraction, and if it's less than, it's retraction. If the lower measurement is greater than the upper one, it means that there's rotated scapula. And then we have lat anteres major. We will do that on, have your arm go back and touch the table. Looking to see if his arm touches the table. This does not. And this would be a positive test, meaning that there is shortness of the muscles, lat and anteres major. Next we have pec major. So I'm going to have him put his hands behind his head. Perfect. His elbows do touch the table. It would be a positive test if they didn't, and that means there's tightness in the pecs, which could lead to round shoulders and forward head. Next we have pec minor. So he's just going to lift his hands down by his side. We're going to see if his shoulders touch the table, and if they don't, that is a positive test, which also means rounded shoulders and forward head. And he has tightness.